Last fall, before the marathon season kicked off, Xtep released their 160X series, but then they hit a major brand crisis. Some runners experienced issues with the 160X6 series shoes delaminating during races. Although Xtep recorded the products and offered refunds and exchanges after the crisis, I believe it still left a bad impression on potential consumers who hadn't purchased the 160X series. Less than half a year later, they launched the 6.5. I bought a pair as soon as they were available, because I wanted to see what changes they have made. Today, let's talk about Xtep 160X 6.5. 你们好，我是辉。I created this channel to review running products from Chinese brands and improve my English speaking. Before I get into my thoughts on the Xtep 160X 6.5, I do want to go over some disclosures. No one's paying me to make this video, and I bought this pair with my own money. Money doesn't grow on trees. I will say whatever needs to be said. So let's get into it from the specs. This is another running shoe that doesn't provide stack height info. When I run, I feel the drop is around 6 or 7 mm. Starting from the 6th gen, their midsole technology Xtep Ace has improved a lot, upgrading from the beaded foam of 5th gen to embryo forming. This is a diagram of the embryo forming. The one on the left isn't a kid's shoe. It's the initial state of the midsole after being injected with nitrogen or other gases and going through high pressure and temperature. It forms the actual midsole size. You can simplify this process by imagining turning a dough into bread. The biggest benefit of this forming process for runners are enhance the rebound and reduce the weight. It's also widely used in many brand top-tier racing shoes, like the new released Brooks Hyperion Elite 4 PB, which also uses the same forming tech. By the way, the midsole of Hyperion Elite 4 PB is supplied by a company in the city where I live now. Back to the upper. This pair is inspired by the caps in Chongqing city. In China, Chongqing caps are famous for being wild. People often say they are not driving fast, they are just flying too low. That's why they are nicknamed Yellow Ferrari. Xtep's designer replaced the zero with a wheel and used the same body decals as Chongqing caps. It's cool and interesting. My pair is size 44 because its heel has almost no padding. It runs a size larger. For reference, I usually wear size 45 in Chinese brand running shoes and size 46 in Hoka and New Balance. My size 44 weighs 208 grams. It's very lightweight. After the basics, let's take a look at the details. The upper has no stretch, and the forefoot space is relatively roomy. My feet are not wide, and you can see this area wrinkles after tightening the laces. So I think it should be fine for wide feet as well. The tongue is secured with 2 holes to keep it from moving around. Without gussets, the tongue is soft, and no matter how tight I lace up, there is no pressure on the instep. The Chinese character here means the number 6. The heel counter offers no support at all, but that's not a problem. I will explain why later. The official picture shows the carbon plate in the forefoot is hollowed out, making it easy to bend. The upside is that your foot is more flexible when pushing off, but it also lacks the springy feel from the carbon plate. That's something left for the Pro version. The midsole has some cutout areas on the outside, while the inside is supported by an extended carbon plate that flips up. This design makes me feel the heel is softer on the outside and firmer on the inside. Also makes the shoe more adaptable for runners with overpronation, because the firmer inside can help stabilize the landing. It also uses a CPU rubber, a type of liquid rubber known for durable and grippy. After 50 km, even the small details haven't worn off. For Chinese running shoes at this price point, having a high quality also is common, and I never worry about it. Next up, let's compare the differences between 6.5 and the 6. In my opinion, pretty much all the changes are for comfort. The toe box on the 6.5 is a bit higher. When I wore the 6, I could definitely feel the upper pressing on my big toe, but that's gone with the 6.5. The collar around the heel has become much softer. Besides using softer materials, the softer part is also more than in the 6. Then this area, which has been lowered in heat. Lastly, the insole. They seem to have brushed on a super thin layer of glue to keep it in place better. That's pretty much everything I've noticed so far. With that out of the way, let's talk about the pros and cons of actual running in it. I think the coolest thing about this shoe is its stability. It doesn't overly widen the midsole or add rigid structure to the heel counter, but it still performs really well in terms of stability. Over the past few days, I've also used it for easy run and recovery run, and I didn't put any pressure on my ankles because I didn't have to focus extra on stabilizing it when landing. I believe it can fit a wide range of runners of different abilities. Thanks to the upgraded midsole forming tech, the midsole has two notable characteristics. One is when you compress during your first strike, by the time you are going through your gait cycle, the foam is already back into its uncompressed position. Second, when you put any type of load into it, it's just bouncing right back up. The first is especially noticeable when landing on the heel. All of this makes the shoe more accessible to a wider range of pace. On the downside, the main issue comes from the upper. The tongue is pretty water absorbent. If you race in the rain or spill water on your shoes at a station, I feel it would take a long time to dry. Secondly, the heel lifting. I can mostly deal with it by lacing through the last hole, which is caused by the lack of heel padding. Let's wrap up the video. Among the running shoes on my channel, I recommend the 361 degrees Flame 4 to most people for race day, and higher level runners can use it for a super trainer, especially those who land on forefoot or midfoot. This pair can be recommended to a broader range of runners for same purpose, because it has better stability and is more friendly to heel striker and runners with overpronation. In my opinion, this one might not be called a half-generation update. It's more like what the 6 should be. It carries over the same responsive and high energy return from the 6. If you already have the 6, I may not recommend upgrading to this, because there is almost no difference in performance. If you haven't bought a pair and really want to experience Xtep's super shoes, I think starting with the 160X non-Pro version might be the best choice. As for the 6 Series Pro version, I believe it's more suited for sub-3 runners. Otherwise, it might overwork your muscles, potentially leading to issues like cramps in marathon. Some audience might be like, hey, if the 160X3 Pro and the 6.5 cost the same, which one should I go for? I think it's all about trade-offs. You are basically swapping weight for performance. The 3 Pro is about 50 grams heavier than my 6.5. With the 6.5, you gain more flexibility and agility, but you lose the explosive forefoot energy return. Also, according to news on Chinese social media, the 160X 3.5 Pro is about to be released. The 6.5 does solve the 6 issues, like wrapping the ankle, but whether the delamination issue is resolved isn't something this 50-kilometer usage video can conclude. As the saying goes, you can never make the same mistake twice. I believe Xtep can fix it. Meanwhile, I will update again after hit 200 km. Okay, that's my thoughts on the Xtep 160X 6.5 after 50 kilometers. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this shoe or any good tips on improved English speaking. Thanks for watching this video all the way through. I'll bring you more about Chinese running products. Please follow me and hope you have a good one.